fellow Americans and citizens of the world, every decent man, woman, and child left on the planet, everyone that values liberties, freedoms, your lives, I ask for a moment of your attention. I have spent the past decade, every waking moment that I could make it out of my bed, researching why I could not get mass-murdering doctors and nurses and sex-offending cops arrested in my local area. As I went to higher and higher authorities up our entire chain of command from every local, state, and federal institution in our nation, the United States of America, trying to uncover why mass-murdering doctors and nurses and sex-offending cops were being left to prey upon innocent citizens, I began to uncover an ever-increasing network of corruption that I followed all the way up to the very highest levels of the powers that be governing not just the United States of America, but for the most part the entire world. If I had not become persuaded by thousands upon thousands of hours of diligent research and through prayer and meditation, divine revelations came from our Creator confirming what I can show you in my research. My notes have empirical evidence. My notes have actual photographs, actual documents, actual audio-visual evidence in their own words, stating their intent and their links to the corporations that are poisoning our food, poisoning our air, poisoning our water, and in every way aggressively doing their best to sterilize general populations, to bioengineer diseases that are resistant to all known antibiotics, while they put out in the media their controlled propaganda, keeping the masses oblivious to the fact that hundreds of millions, if not billions of lives are now currently under attack, and every single day that we leave these people in power, your lives and that of your children are in growing danger. I am not exaggerating. I have diligently researched this. I would not be making these claims just for any reason other than that. I feel that you have to be warned. You have to understand that your lives, not just your freedoms, your lives are under attack right now as we speak worldwide. And I'm going to show you all the different ways. I'm going to prove to you in this short film. And if you don't see enough evidence in this short presentation to convince you, please read my notes. Don't look at my notes and look at the links and say, oh, they're only linked to Facebook memes or opinions. Click the links, watch the documentaries, research this, every subject I raise for yourselves, and to understand that every day we leave these lunatics, I don't care what you want to call them, aliens, ETs, EBEs, demons, devils, people that have just completely lost their minds, you know, with delusions of grandeur, of ruling the world, while they basically not only tell us, but are factually implementing ways right now as I speak, as you're watching this, to enslave every single soul on planet Earth and or exterminate you. I'm not exaggerating. This is most serious. You need to stop whatever you're doing. This is of the highest priority. This is not time for business as usual on planet Earth. You have got to face the facts. Step out of, any of your wishful thinking, any of your own chosen psychological denials, and look at the evidence right now. Here we go. Chemtrails. These are not a conspiracy theory. Anybody can look up and see them on the sky all over the world. It's not just the United States. It's not just Europe. It's happening all over the entire planet. The only governing body that affects the entire world that has the power to implement something like this, of basically poisoning our troposphere. This is not occurring in the stratosphere, my friends. This is not occurring in the ionosphere, my friends. When you look up and see these trails, this is in our breathable atmosphere. These are metal particulates that are highly toxic, that scientifically have proven to cause neurologic and organ damage. In other words, your premature death and demise and brain damage to you and your children. This is an overt attack. I don't care what they call it. I don't care what, they want to put it under the guise of weather control or modification or whatever insanity. It has the effect, the results, the scientifically proven results of causing sterilization, causing birth defects, causing neurologic damage to your brain and nervous system, causing premature death of every single person that is breathing our atmosphere all over the world. This insanity right here is a call to arms to any and all sane citizens all over the world. If you don't think these chemtrails are actually filled with toxic metals and particulates that you are breathing, if you think that this all just remains up in the air, you have got to research this thoroughly right now. Ted Gunderson, God bless him and rest his soul, was former FBI head in one of our states, tried to warn the people about organized Satanism and the insanity of these individuals. They are firmly convinced that the global population on Earth right now has to be reduced by billions, my friends, billions. That means you and your children have got to go in their minds, and they are implementing right now, as we speak, all over the world, agendas to start World War III, to start all kinds of racial and civil, cultural, and financial suffering, starvation, any way they can. So death, diseases, etc., etc. To depopulate the world, these people must be arrested. Wherever these jets are landing or taking off, they have to be basically destroyed. You have no choice at this point in your lives if you really want to live. If you want to see your children live on a planet and breathe clean air and not be completely enslaved and or dead, you've got to fight these people. You've got to come out of your wishful thinking that this is all just going to vanish away, that this is all just conspiracy theory, that it's all just, lunatics out there just completely, losing our minds, telling you that your lives are under attack. Your lives are under attack right now. You can't just sit there and pretend like this stuff isn't happening. The air is being poisoned. For whatever reason, it is having the result. Forget all the propaganda, forget all the excuses, and look at the scientific results of what this is doing to our water, to our crops, and to humanity and all life forms on the planet. Do you want to see? Just take a look. You can call it Fukushima radiation poisoning the waters in the Pacific. You can research that's caused a layer of death in the Pacific, on the bottom of the ocean. You can ignore these images if you want to your own peril and to that of your children. There are mass die-offs occurring These people are triggering extinction events in their insanity. They have to be stopped. And you say, who has to be stopped? Well, it certainly isn't Joe Blow public that has access to unlimited wealth by printing currency out of thin air. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the UN, these people have to be stopped. The multi-trillionaires of the world with unlimited wealth that think you and your children have to die. The masses have to unite. You're left no choice. Unless you want to join all these fish, unless you want to join all these animals, these people have lost their minds. They've completely gone insane. I don't care if you want to call it demonic possession. I don't want to care if you want to call it aliens from outer space have body snatched them. By whatever reason, these people have lost their marbles completely. They have to be arrested. They have to be stopped. They have to be deposed. I don't care how you do it. I don't care where you do it, where you find them, when you find them. Basically, all the political puppets that are putting these measures of death and destruction worldwide into effect right now, the masses have to stop whatever they're doing. You have to stop whatever business as usual, whatever you think, your daily life is made of, whatever your trials and tribulations are that you're facing. If you're losing your home, you're losing it on purpose. Death, destruction is a result of the control of monetary currencies. In other words, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, central banks, World Bank, the IMF, the Bilderbergers, the multi-billionaires, the multi-trillionaires of the world have met and have determined that the masses have to die. I don't know how else to say it any more plainly to you folks. You've got to face reality. You've got to take a look at this. You've got to realize that your food supply is being poisoned, whether it's through fast food commercialism. Every place where you can find cheap food, processed food, it has anywhere from one deadly chemical into it that causes sterilization, that causes birth defects, that causes brain damage, that causes organ damage, that causes death, disease. They are attacking you. They are poisoning you. Poisons are not in your food and in your water supplies and in the air by pure accident, my friends. Regardless of what propaganda they want to put out there, regardless of how many names they call us, for trying to get people to take a look at reality and to realize that these people, if there's any people that have to go off planet Earth, it's these delusional, unbelievably, insanely evil persons that think destroying the planet is how we save it. That think killing off billions of people on planet Earth is going to somehow in shape or form save our planet and save their progeny, from likewise death and destruction. They've lost their minds. They are detached from our Creator, and I can prove can prove to anybody that researches that in fact the royals, the Queen of England, yes, the current presidents and royals around the world, virtually all of them, not all, but virtually all, have not only pledged allegiance to the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and World Bank and the UN and their security forces, but behind closed doors are pedophiles, child traffickers, rapists, homosexuals, sodomites, Satanists. And they even filmed movies like Eyes Wide Shut at one of Rothschild's, locations. These people are Satanists. They worship the devil. They are murderers. They are mass murderers. They are sex offenders. They are the vilest pieces of filth the world has ever known, and they are in control of the money. They are in control of the militaries. They are in control of the police powers. Everyone that is accepting their dirty, blood-soaked, filthy money for hire to effect death and destruction and control upon the masses. They are, in their own words, for chipping everybody on planet Earth.
Okay, it was from the Rockefeller family, and he, when I was running for governor in Nevada, he came to me, introduced himself to me to an attorney, And
The RFID biochips that are already implanted in cattle, that are already on goods, are being designed to be put in your identification cards, your phones, and
industry, what they want to accomplish.
eventually,
And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all of them, Italy, all of
to
them,
brand every single one of the surviving humanoids left on planet Earth with
central banking is one of the major
the
planks
biochip,
in the Communist Manifesto.
just as if
being a capitalistic country, but yet
you were
a
cattle.
central bank that plans everything for us, right? And
the Satanists have full knowledge that the Quran calls for the beheading and crucifixion of all unbelievers, especially Christians. The Quran, you can read it in black and white in their own verses. You can just look at any one of the sites that I have in my notes on Islam is Evil, and you can look at their Muslim responses of how they try to defend it and say, well, it was only about a Pacific War, or it was only about jihad, or it was only about treating criminals. But the facts remain when you look at what they are doing on planet Earth, that they are beheading innocent people. They think a Christian is synonymous with Satanism, when in fact it's them. They're the ones going around, with weapons and cutting off people's heads. Look at this. This is reality, people. Reality. They are in fact affecting a genocide right now against Christians. Hundreds of thousands of them have already been beheaded and murdered in the world.